So good morning, everyone. Happy rainy Monday. Hopefully a little yoga will brighten up our lives and our morning a bit. I'm doing a theme of twisting it out. So we're going to do lots of twists today. Maybe you can think of your body as like a sponge that has soaked up all of this moisture and rain and whatever else it's soaking in at this point in the year. And this will be a nice opportunity for you to wring and let that all out. So we are going to begin in a seated position on our mat. So you can make your way there. And you can be up on your knees or in an easy pose, or as I like to say, crisscross applesauce. Really feel rooted down here. You might want to move your arms around a little bit. Your hands can be on your knees, palms down, or palms face up if you'd like a little more energy brought in. Crown of your head is reaching towards the ceiling, trying to stack your spine over your hips here. You can gently close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or maybe just let them soften. And then just notice your breath, not changing it just yet. And start to bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Let everything go here with an exhale. And then take a deep breath in. Feel your belly move as you breathe in like a balloon. Hold at the top for a moment. Exhale gently through the mouth. Pressing out any air. Then pausing at the bottom. And once again, breathing in deeply, filling up your belly. Imagine that balloon inflating. And exhale through the mouth. Take 2 more cycles like this. And once you've completed that next exhale, begin to bring your hands along your sides, palms up. Next, inhale, arms reach up overhead. And then as you exhale, guide your right hand down to the mat and left arm reaches up and then over. This doesn't have to be anything extreme. Inhale, bring both arms back through center. And then exhale as you let your left hand come to the mat. Right arm reaches up and then over to the left. We'll take this one more round on each side. Inhale, both arms straight up. Exhale, reaching over to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale through center, and then we're going to twist to the right. So your left hand can come to your right knee, and right arm will extend back towards your hip and then out. You don't have to crank anything right now. Well, you should never be cranking anything, but just take it nice and easy. Don't worry so much about turning your neck, but rotating through the thoracic spine and through your heart center, your midline. We'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. After you've completed that next exhale, releasing your arms, coming back through center, reset. Breathe in, and then exhale to the left. Right hand comes to left knee, left hand plants behind you. 2 deep breaths here, remain. Inhale will bring you back through center. And then as you exhale, release your hands down in front of you. You can roll over your ankles or come to your hands and knees. And stacking hands underneath shoulders, knees are hip width distance apart. Cat and cow are next. Inhale will be cow pose. And exhale to cat. Let your head drop, rounding through the shoulders. Maybe you give a little sway here. Inhale through cow. And exhale, cat. And continue on your own. Take about 3 more cycles of each, and as always, you can add in any other organic movements that might feel good to you. You can close your eyes, waking up all those nooks and crannies. I always think this feels extra nice in the morning. Then after you've completed that last one, come back onto your shins. You can tuck your toes under if you'd like, or you can have the tops of your feet pressing into the mat. And then inhale, arms reach. Exhale, bring your hands behind your low back and intertwine your your knuckles rather, and draw your knuckles down towards the earth. Feel your shoulders pull away from ears. Maybe you look up slightly, feeling some openness through the shoulders. If you spent a lot of time on your phone or sitting down yesterday, and this can be a nice little relief, letting your shoulders move a different way than they have been lately. And then releasing your arms back up overhead. We'll take one more twist here. Exhale, twisting towards the right. Notice how this feels as compared to our first twist. Inhale through center, and then exhale, twisting one more time to the left. Inhale through center, and then plant your hands back down on the mat. Come back to that tabletop pose. From here, begin to tuck your toes under, hover your knees just above the mat. Creating a nice flat back, push the mat away with your palms. Starting to build up some heat. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, hips go up and back, come into downward facing dog. Take whatever movements you need in your down dog, pedaling out your heels, bending into one knee and then the other. Can also feel nice to flip over so the top of your foot is on the mat and maybe roll it, massaging out your toes a bit. And then bend your knees really deeply and send your hips up slightly higher. And then begin to straighten out your legs, keeping your hips at that same point, or trying to. Head and neck are hanging heavy here. And then widen out your stance and then take a little step forward. It might be a bigger step if you're like me and extra tight in your hamstrings and hips. We're going to do a downward dog reach over. So guide your right hand towards either the back of your knee, the back of your calf, or maybe your ankle. You can kind of look under that left armpit. And bend into your knees too if you need. And release your right hand down. We'll take this with the left hand reaching over towards the back of the right calf or ankle. Looking under your right armpit. Release your hand back. Bring your feet closer together and then back in your neutral downward facing dog. And then take a breath in. And as you exhale, step to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, crown of head reaching towards the front of your space. Exhale, forward fold. Bring a slight bend to your knees. Next, inhale, take your time, rising all the way up to your mountain pose. Arms will eventually reach up overhead. Fingertips reach towards the ceiling, and then bring your palms to touch. Draw your hands to heart center. standing at attention pose or samastitihi. If you rock slightly on the balls of your feet and then your heels finding that nice steady point where all four corners of each foot are really rooted into the earth or your mat. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, release your hands down towards your sides. Inhale, sweeps them up. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Right arm extends back, left arm is forward. Inhale, arms reach back through center. Exhale, open arm twist towards the left. Inhale through center. And then as you exhale, you can draw your hands through your heart or swan dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to your high plank pose. Bring your knees to the earth. Hug your elbows in towards your ribcage and lower all the way down to your bellies. Keeping hands under your shoulders here, elbows are squeezed in, tops of feet pressing into the mat. Next pose will be baby cobra. On your inhale, just lift your chin and chest. Exhale, releasing it down. Two more like this. Inhale for baby cobra. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale and rise. We'll stay here for another round of breath. Release it down on your exhale. Tuck your toes under. You can push up through a tabletop pose or knees down plank. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. So we'll move through our sun salutations in this manner with those open arm twists at the top. Breathe in here. Back into your knees if you need to. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale brings you up to mountain pose. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, open arm twist, taking it to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, brings you forward fold, ride the breath down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. There you are in high plank. Option to drop your knees to the mat. You can lower all the way down or halfway down chaturanga, squeezing elbows in. If you're here, flip to tops of feet. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra if you're all the way on the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale, brings you to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Ooh, let's switch it up. The center toes, inhale through center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back, high plank. Lowering halfway chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale is your back bend of choice. Exhale, meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, step or hop, top of mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Last time. Exhale, twisting right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, high to low plank. Transitioning through. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for 2 rounds of breath or come to your knees. One more inhale. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Once again, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale is mountain pose. As you exhale, chair pose. From here, your feet can be together or hip-width distance apart. Arms can be, or biceps rather, can be framing your face. You could cactus your arms, feeling that openness through the shoulders. Maybe even bring your hands to heart center. This is a pose you can ease into. We will be here again, so that might influence how deep you go. We're going to stay in this chair pose for 2 more rounds of breath. You play around with floating your toes off of the mat, bringing the weight really deeply into your heels. Warming up the quads. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, and from here, just step your left foot back. You can adjust if you need to. Right foot will be between your hands. Your left knee can be lifted, or you can bring it to the mat. If it is lifted, really feel some power through that left heel. Left hand will stay planted here, and we're going to twist to the right. So right arm will reach up and up towards the ceiling. Kind of stack your shoulders. And using your palm to help you here, push the mat away with that left palm. Begin to guide your right fingertips towards the front of your space, down towards the mat, and then draw them up along your midline. I'll do this side so you can actually see. Down to the front, towards your ankle, and then draw up your legs straight up towards the ceiling. 1 more like this. Release your right hand down. From here, step your left foot up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale brings you up to mountain pose. Round 2, exhale, chair pose. Once you feel ready, we're going to open arm twist once again. I told you we're going to be twisting a lot. Inhale here. Exhale, open arm twist towards the right. Right arm reaches back, left arm forward, just like we did in mountain pose, but now we're building up even more heat. Inhale through center. Exhale, open arm twist towards left. Inhale brings you through center and then straighten through the legs, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, this time stepping your right foot back. This side might feel different, so feel free to rest your right knee on the mat. Right hand will plant, left arm extends up. Press that right heel towards the back of your space if your knee is lifted. Begin to guide left fingertips towards the front of your space, making a big half circle down towards your ankle, and then bend into the elbow, reach right straight back up to the ceiling. Take 2 more like this. Left hand will make its way back towards the mat. Take a few test pumps off that right foot. You're going to step it forward 1 more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. Here we go again. 1 more twisting action here. We're going to start on the left first this time. Breathe in your chair. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the right. Inhale, center, leg straighten, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. There you are in your plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga on your exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in here. Exhale, side out. Inhale. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. We'll be in this chair. This time we're going to twist, hands coming to heart center. Shift your torso forward slightly, and we're going to twist to the right. Left elbow will track over right thigh. If you prefer to have it in between your thighs in that little crease, you can. You can keep your hands at heart center or open them up. Then checking in with your knees. It's okay if one is coming forward a bit, but just being aware of how much we want to keep our weight evenly dispersed through our feet. And think about twisting through the middle, through the heart space, rather than your low back. One more breath here. Inhale through center chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Widen out your feet about hip-width distance apart. Take your two peace fingers, middle and index, wrap them around your big toes. Pull your heart towards your thighs. You can bend into your knees as much as you need. Head and neck hang heavy. Leg a bit more. Bend into your elbows. Use your biceps to pull you a little bit further down. Release your toes. Bring them back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, the mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose, bringing hands to heart center, preparing to twist. Torso will shift forward about 45 degrees. Breathe in here first. And then as you exhale, twisting towards the left. Right elbow is tracking towards left thigh. Option to keep your hands together or open up. Knowing you don't have to do the same thing on the side. Find one more breath here. Really imagining you're hugging your organs, releasing out any toxins, bringing them out like a dish rag. Next breath, come back through center, and then exhale to forward fold. Widen out your feet to the very edges of your mat. Come into Malasana. So your toes can turn out slightly, bend into your knees. You could stay in a sumo squat pose where your hips are slightly higher, or begin to release them down a bit. Hands can come to heart center. Maybe use your elbows to track your knees out a bit slightly. Final breath here. Release your hands down. Slowly straighten through the legs as you send your hips back up. Heel toe your feet to stack underneath your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. High to low plank on your exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All right, last time with the chairs, I promise. Inhale, the mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. From here, we're going to twist once again. So you'll bring your hands to heart center, twisting towards the right, left elbow tracking over right thigh. Bring the weight into your right foot and begin to peel your left heel off of the mat. We're going to step back so we're landing in a twisted crescent. So you can take your time stepping that left foot back and adjust as you need. One more breath here. Inhale will bring you through center. There we are in Crescent Lunge. Maybe you need to adjust your feet a bit, imagining each foot is on either side of a railroad track. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, open up, warrior two pose. Whew, first real hip opener. Take your time here. Maybe you bend and straighten through that right leg. Notice how that feels to open up. Feel free to take up space as well. And then checking in with your left foot, sealing the knife edge side of your left foot into the mat. Breathing out over right fingertips. Reach forward slightly. Inhale, reverse warrior. Lay it back. Keep the beautiful bend in your right leg. You can look up at those right fingertips or down at your left toes. On your exhale, we're going to release our hands down to frame our right foot. Step your right foot back. You can keep it lifted or bring it to the mat. Exhale is your chaturanga. You can always skip those. Inhale is your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, step her out top of mat. Last time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. Hands to heart center. Final twist in our chair. Torso shifts forward, breathe in. Exhale, twisting to the left. Right elbow tracking towards your left thigh. Bring the weight in towards your left foot. Begin to peel that right heel up. Extend your right foot back. Things might feel different on this side. You can adjust if you need to. One more breath here. On your next inhale, come back through center and then rising up to your crescent lunge. Once again, you can check in with your footing. Shoulders are square towards the front of the room. Keep strong and steady through that right heel. Final inhale. Exhale opens you up, warrior two on this side. Bend and straighten through the left leg. And you roll your shoulders back. Eventually shifting your gaze over left fingertips. One more round of breath. Reach forward on your inhale, reverse warrior, lay it back. Keeping the bend in your left leg. You can bring your hand to your right thigh or take a gentle bind, pressing the right forearm into your low back. On your exhale, hands release down, framing your left foot. Step back. You can keep that left foot elevated or bring it to the mat. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Guide out. All right, next inhale, right leg lifts. Ooh, we haven't done this in a while. Bend into your right knee, guide your right heel towards your left shoulder blade. A few circles here. Inhale, right leg straightens out, flex through the right foot. Maybe lift that heel slightly higher. As you exhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Bring your back foot parallel. We're setting up for warrior two. As you're ready, inhale, warrior two pose. After your next exhale, your inhale will be reverse warrior. Lay it back. And from this reverse warrior, we're moving into half moon pose. So you can bring your right hand back to the horizon line, shift it forward, and then weight comes into your right foot as you bring your right fingertips down towards your right toes. Left leg will launch off, right hand can come to the mat, a block, a water bottle, a Clorox white bottle. Left leg is lifting. Left hand can stay on your hip if you need more stability. Feel energy through that left foot, flexing that left foot maybe. Then from here, we're gonna stay for one more breath. I'm just telling you where we're going. We're gonna move into standing splits. So left arm will reach down. Square your hips, both hands are on the mat or a block. Left leg is lifted. Revolved half moon is next. Oh my goodness. Left hand stays on the mat. Right arm is gonna reach up. Keep feeling energy through that left foot. One more breath here. Guide your right hand to the mat. Step your left foot back. Widen out your stance a little bit. We're moving into crescent lunge for a moment. So press to that right foot. Inhale to crescent lunge. And then bring your hands to your hips. Pyramid pose is next. So you might want to step your left foot slightly in. Square your hips towards the front of your space. Breathe in. As you exhale, hinging from the hips, Lower your torso down, trying to keep a flat back, and your hands can come to your shin, your ankle. I usually have blocks here, which can help let your head and neck release. You can keep a gentle bend in your right leg. If you'd like less intensity, step your left foot closer in. Now you can stay just as we are, or move into revolved triangle. So your left hand will stay on the mat, right arm reaches up. Wherever you are, bring both hands back towards your right foot. We'll step our left foot further back and then step your right foot back to meet it. There you are in plank pose. You can push back to downward facing dog or flow through a vinyasa. We're going to do that on the other side. Next inhale, left leg reaches up. Bend into your left knee, guide your heel towards your shoulder blade. Take whatever movements you need here, or just hang out in stillness. Left leg straightens out. Lift that left heel slightly higher and exhale, bend into your knee, step that left foot forward. Warrior two on this side, right foot comes parallel to the back of your mat. Press through that left foot, arms reach, warrior two. Next inhale is reverse warrior. Half moon is next. Left arm reaches forward. You can bring your right hand to your right hip if you need stability. Then begin to reach forward to the top of your mat. Left arm reaches down, right leg extends back. Things might feel different on this side. And it's okay to fall out. You just get back into it. Every day is a bit different too. Times of day can affect you as well. Standing splits are next. Guide your right hand down. Right leg is lifted. And then revolved half moon is next. Right hand stays on the mat or water bottle or block. Left arm reaches up. Whew, you might have to step that right foot back. Bring your right hand down to the mat. Bend into your left leg as you step your right foot back. Widen out your stance so you're ready for Crescent Lunge. When you're ready, arms extend up overhead. Hands draw to your hips. Pyramid pose will be next. Right foot will step in. Step towards the front of your space. Breathe in. And as you exhale, hinging from your hips, keeping a flat back. Lowering down to your pyramid pose. Hands on your shin, your ankle, blocks. Trying to resist locking out your knee, but rather leaving a little bit of micro bend in it. Stay here or move into your revolved triangle with right hand planting, left arm reaching up. One more breath. Exhale, release your left hand down. From here, bend into your left foot. Right foot will step up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your mountain pose. Maybe take a slight back bend at the top if that would feel good. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. I can move a little bit because I'm very close to the walls here. We're going to transition to eagle pose. So you can bring your arms out in front of you, palms facing up. Bring the weight into your right foot. You'll lift your left knee and then begin to cross left leg over right thigh. Maybe you cross over once or twice, wrapping your foot around. I don't understand how it's possible for people to do, so do what works best for you. And then you're going to bring your left arm underneath your right. Your palms might touch. Another option is to bring your hands to your shoulders. Leaving everything in here. I always think of this as literally being a dish rag that I'm wringing out. You might bend a little deeper into that right leg, coming into some eagle crunches if you would like. Guide your elbows down towards your knees or thighs. Inhale brings you up. Using so much focus and balance here. So much power through your core. One more. And if you aren't already there, bring your elbows down towards that left thigh. We're going to unwrap the left leg, extend it back. So you're in airplane pose with eagle arms. Now begin to unwrap your arms. Left leg is staying extended, half moon pose. Take your time, slow and steady here. Final breath. Right leg bends, step it back to your warrior two pose. Both feet on the ground. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands releasing down. We're going to come back to one final twist on this side. Left knee can be released to the mat or leave it elevated. Left hand plants, right arm reaches up. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Step your right foot back. There you are in high plank. Go through your flow or push it back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. One more side. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Eagle pose on the opposite side, so arms release out in front of you, palms up. This time bringing your weight into your left foot. Begin to lift your right leg, crossing right over left. Then as you're ready, right arm crosses underneath your left. So it's opposite of your legs. Once again, you can bring your hands to your shoulders. Finding steadiness here. And then if you would like a bit more, on your exhale, beginning to guide your elbows down towards your knees. Inhale, reaching up if you're taking this variation. Exhale to lower. One more. Exhale, lower. Hold here. We're going to unwrap the right leg, extend it back, airplane pose with eagle arms. Slowly unwrap your arms, coming into your half moon. We're all twisted up. Now we're expanding. Noticing the lightness in the right foot. And then bend into your left leg, step your right foot back. There you are in warrior two pose. Both feet settle on the ground. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands release to the mat. One more twist here. Right hand plants, left arm reaches up. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Step it back, high plank pose, flow on through, or meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath in, side out. Inhale, look forward, bend into your knees. Step your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. And then begin to lower your seat all the way down. So we're going to get into a little bit of core and even more twisting. Who knew it was possible? So you can move all the way down to your backs as fast or slow as you would like. And then just taking a moment here to windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Bring them back through center. Begin to stack your knees so they're over your hips. We don't want to have them past our hips because then we're working our hip flexors more and that can be very fatiguing. So keeping them right aligned over your hips. Arms can be along your sides with palms down, or for a little more stability, you can bring them out like wings or capital T shape. And then press your low back down into the mat. So you're going to engage through your core. If you bring your hands to your belly for a moment, it should feel nice and hard because you're pressing that low back as you tilt your pelvis a bit. That will protect your low back. So breathe in, and now we're gonna start to move. As you exhale, let your knees drift over to the right side, but just let them hover above the mat. This is when your arms can come in handy. Inhale through center, trying not to use your arms, but they're there if you need it. Exhale as you let knees drift to the left and hover. Keeping your gaze up at the ceiling, shoulder blades connected to the mat. Inhale through center. Exhale, take it to the right. Inhale through center. I think you see where we're going. As you exhale, you'll twist to the opposite side. We're just going to keep going. We have about 20 minutes left in class, so we'll see how long this takes. Just kidding. Why don't we do 2 more each side? You'll get more out of this if you're moving slowly rather than using momentum. 1 more. You'll meet back in the middle. Release your feet down. You can lengthen out your legs. Maybe you give them a little shaky shake down there, letting that all go. Arms can reach up overhead, and you can take a full body stretch. Then bend into your knees once again. Tilt your pelvis so your low back is pressing into the mat. This time we're going to extend our legs straight up towards the ceiling. So we're going to get in a few windshield wipers here. Once again, arms can be along your sides, palms down or out like a T. We're going to go to the right first. So legs will extend over to the right, and this is when I run into the wall. Let your ankle hover above the mat, and then really use that core to bring your legs back through center. You can breathe in to reset. Exhale, taking this over to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. If you'd like to bend your knees, you can do that as well. Inhale brings you back through center. Exhale to the left. You can go at your own pace, but we're going to take 2 more on each side. I'm trusting you guys are doing it. I'm setting my feet down. Once you've completed 2 more on each side, bring your feet back to the mat. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side with your feet on the ground this time. And bring yourself into a tight little ball. So bring your knees towards your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, forehead comes towards your knees, and really squeeze everything in. You should feel your core activating here as well. Stay here for 2 cycles of breath. You can bring your nose a little closer to your knees. Exhale, release all the way down to your mat. Don't get too comfortable. I know sometimes I do that towards the end, but that was just a little activation period there. We have just 1 more core move to go through. So from here, you're going to extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Left leg is going to come out long on the mat. Arms can reach up. And then you're going to bring both arms to the outside of your right hip as you float your shoulder blades off of the mat. Also float your left heel off of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up, and then switch out your legs. Right leg releases down, floating your heel, left leg is up, hands to the outside of your left hip. Inhale, both legs up, exhale, switch it out. All right, you guys get the drift. We're going to keep going here. 2 more on each side. You have got this. 1 more. Doing great, yogis. And bend into your knees. Release it all the way down. Can windshield wiper those knees and take a full body stretch. Wrap your knees in towards your chest. Once again, make yourself into that tight little ball. Squeeze in for a round of breath. And exhale, release your shoulder blades back down to the mat. and then begin to rock the length of your mat. Take as many full spinal rocks as you would like, a little poor man's massage. When you're ready, rock all the way up and over your ankles. Coming back to our tabletop pose. From here, make your way back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale it out. Lower your knees, hover them just above the mat, and then hinge forward to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hover your knees. Inhale, hinge forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take 2 more like this. Very warmed up, knowing how strong you are. Last one here. Hinge forward to that high plank, and then to your count of 5, it can be fast or slow, lower all the way down to your bellies. Let your left cheek rest. Arms come along your sides. Take a moment. Feel your body connecting to the mat. Feel your heartbeat. Knowing that these moments of rest are just as important as the poses themselves. And gently turn, or lift your head rather, and turn so your right cheek is resting. Think of yourself as a sponge that has been wrung out. It's ready to soak up new positive energy, sunlight, gratitude, all the good things. Bring your chin back to the mat, setting up for 2 rounds of belly down back bends. Our Cobra Pose will be first. So bend into your elbows as you guide your hands underneath your shoulder blades. Squeeze elbows in, and then inhale, lifting chin and chest. You can keep your hands connected to the mat, or perhaps you float them just above the surface, feeling your shoulder blades pull together here. Last inhale. Exhale, release your cheek back to the mat. Arms can be along your sides. Chin returns to the mat. Next pose will be our locust. Arms can stay long, just flip your palms over. Feet can be about hip-width distance apart. On your inhale, chin and chest will rise off of the mat. Arms and hands can begin to float as well. Feel your quads engaged, kneecaps are lifted, perhaps floating your feet as well. We're going to stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Perhaps you find a little more height on your inhale, and then stay there for your exhale. Last inhale. Exhale, everything releases down. Opposite cheek can rest. Bring a bend into your legs and windshield wiper your feet from side to side, releasing the low back. Then when you feel ready, slowly guide yourself back to a child's pose, or perhaps a rabbit pose with your knees closer together. Forehead is resting and arms come back towards your heels. Resetting the spine. Slowing down your breath if you haven't already done so. Start to press yourself up. Bring one hip to the mat as you guide your legs out in front of you here. Coming into a staff pose, legs will reach out in front of you. You can flex through your heels. Maybe you rock a little bit on your sits bones, feeling nice and straight and tall through the spine. Inhale, arms can reach up overhead. Then as you exhale, begin to hinge forward. Not worrying about where your hands might lay, trying to keep a flat back. Then inhale, come to a little halfway lift. As you exhale, release and forward fold a bit more. This time, maybe rounding through the shoulders, let your head drop. Releasing any tension in the jaw that might be lingering. Releasing your hands and then walking them back up towards your thighs. From here, draw your right knee up towards your chest. So you might, I always need to adjust a little bit, guiding it so that your heel is stacked underneath your knee. And then we're going to do a final seated twist. So right hand will come behind you. That left elbow will track towards the outside of your right thigh. Once again, not craning your neck, trying to twist from your center, from your heart space. Inhale will bring you back through center. Release the right leg down, left knee bends, hug that left heel so it's stacked underneath your knee. Left arm reaches back, right elbow towards the outside of your thigh. Now, any final things that are no longer serving you here. Coming back through the center, releasing your left leg back down to the mat. And then you might need to scooch your seat a little bit closer towards the top so you have enough room. And fast or slow, lower all the way down to your backs. Bringing your heels close towards your seat. Feet are hip-width distance apart, preparing for bridge pose. We'll just take one bridge and stay there for 5 cycles of breath. If you feel like you would like to transition into wheel, you're welcome to do so, but just listening to your body and knowing what you can handle at this point in your day. Breathe in first. And press through the soles of your feet as your hips begin to rise. Shoulder blades can scooch together underneath you. You might bring your hands to clasp underneath the low back. Keeping your gaze neutral to protect your neck, gazing up at the ceiling. Nice, slow, steady breaths here. Noticing your belly rise and fall. Imagine that balloon like we did at the beginning of practice. One more inhale. And as you exhale, slowly guiding your spine back to the mat. Hands to belly as you gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Supine Konasana is next. Soles of feet come together. Can let your knees open up to the left and right. You'd like a little less intensity. Press your toes closer towards the top of your mat, so there's a gentler bend in your knees. Use your hands to guide your knees back together. Supine twist is next. This is for real, the final twist. Arms come out out like wings. Stack your knees above your hips. As you exhale, let your knees drift over to the right. Like a bit more, wind your left leg over your right for twisted roots. Keeping your gaze up towards the ceiling or perhaps looking over to the left for the full twist. Releasing here. Each exhale, letting go of any last things that you do not need. It's always my favorite part of class. A great way to reset the spine as well. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need. When you feel complete on this side, unwinding that top leg if you took that variation, bringing these back through the center. As you exhale, letting them drift over to the left. Keeping your gaze towards the ceiling or over to the right. As always, feel free to stay here as long as you need. When you are ready, knees will draw back through the center. Coming into happy baby pose, maybe you widen out your knees to the edges of your torso. Reach up to capture the outsides of your feet or ankles, or maybe even the outsides of your knees. Finding stillness here, or a little gentle rocking motion. And taking these last few moments to check in with yourself and your body, noticing if there are any last wiggles or poses you need to complete your practice. Taking what you need here. And then as you are ready, begin to guide your body into a final resting pose that works best for you this morning. You might shimmy your shoulder blades underneath you a bit. Perhaps you place pillows underneath your thighs or back. You welcome a little animal there, a pet to join you. And then these last few moments of the practice are just for you. Setting yourself up for a day ahead, ready to soak in new things, positive activity. If you have the time, you're welcome to stay in this resting pose as long as you need. When you are ready, begin to add small movements back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and toes or rolling out your wrists and ankles. And gently turn your head from left to right. Guiding yourself onto whatever side would feel best, coming into a gentle fetal position, taking these last few moments to send gratitude to yourself, to your body, to the energy we feel through our other practitioners who are practicing from a distance, but still moving and breathing with us together. Gently pressing yourself up to a seated position, knowing you're welcome to stay on your back or side as long as you need. Bringing hands along your sides, palms up. Let everything go here with an exhale. Inhale, arms can reach up overhead, ready to embrace all the goodness the day can bring. Bring your palms to touch. Exhale, draw them to your heart center. The light and love in me humbly honors and reflects the light and love in each of you. Thank you for sharing it with me today, virtually, of course, but I'm still very grateful. From my heart to yours, namaste.